2060 focuses a lot on agriculture, the path, agriculture, manufacturing, and the likes. And for the first time, questions will be asked about this generation and how they understand and how they align with agriculture, it being the backbone of our economy. Secondly, if compared to Singapore, agriculture accounts for about 1% of its land area, contributes 0.5% of the national GDP.
Thank you.
Is there a confusion somewhere?
Thank you very much.
And what are we communicating when we say we're going to Singapore?
Exactly.
Where they've excelled in as far as urban planning and governance probably, but what you're focusing on is on a different trajectory. Singapore
is, in fact, the worst example the UDA government and President Ruto should have picked as an example of where we need to go. Singapore is 10% in terms of population, roughly 10% of Kenya's population. We're talking about 6 million. Kenya is headed towards 60 million population. And you've brought up the point I've been burning to share. Also, Singapore is majority, trade, financial services, those are the drivers of its economy. Ours is production and manufacturing. So ours is agriculture, which still accounts to 70 to 80% of the, and the supporting services. So we can't compare. In fact, the person who needed to have a Singapore fantasy is probably, the governor of Nairobi or any other governor, because Nairobi is roughly 6 million population. So that's the first point. And second, I'm insulted that we have to be brought an Asian professor to tell us where we want to go as a country. We do not, first I have a big problem with the age group. And to his credit, Kibaki wasn't a perfect president, but he gave us Mugo Kibaki, who was a Kenyan and who was younger, than the average leadership, the political leadership then. Wait. But I think there's something wrong about understanding the mood of the nation today. The general Kenyan doesn't actually value the Muzungu or the Asian as someone to tell them where we need to go. We have no deficiency of talent. We have no deficiency of vision. So please, if you want Kenyans to drive a national conversation, please put Kenyans at the forefront, put young people at the forefront, because we already have come of age and we can tell you where to fix issues. And this is not just a matter of this fact. Please let me land.
I'll give you an
Please let me land. Okay. And this is not just a matter of today. In history, how old was Tom Mboya when he launched the airlift program? He was in his 20s. So nations have been built by people within the ages of 20 and 30. And that's why we're having a big disconnect. You look at Singapore, you're not just looking at the skyscrapers. Ukiona vyaelea, ujue vimeundwa. So we need to come back to aliunda, and what do we need to fix so that people can actually build this?
Hesbon, you can now.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Professor Hino worked with Kibaki